Hello, this is the third lesson of the series Learn and Improve. So now we are going to learn how to mate with the queen and king against king, and also with king and rook against king, and maybe king and two rooks against a king, and we'll see if we get some more chances to do more mates. Let's set up the first position. King and queen against a lone king. Okay, as we see now, uh, to do a checkmate with a queen and king against a king, we have first to know what to do step by step. First of all, we have to prevent the black king from passing any further lines. We should imprison the black king in this area. So our queen is able to do the job alone because the king is a very powerful piece. So first of all, we can the king from this square. So our queen is imprisoning the black king. So we have two squares only for the black king. For this square. So the black king going this way. So in very fast rule, we have to push our or to move our queen with the same direction of the black king, like this. Of course, the king is protecting the queen, so the king cannot take our queen. Always keep the queen safe. So now, as we see, the prison or the square prison for the king is getting smaller and smaller. If the king goes up, okay, as we said, we have to move our queen in the same direction. Of course, keep it safe with one file or one square away from the black king. So now this is our imprisoning square. So what to do with the black king? Black king must move now here or here or here. Okay, if he goes g4 with the same rule, with the same concept, we move our queen toward the black king or with the same direction of the black king, one square. Keep our queen safe away from the black king. Okay, now move to for black. Up with the same rule, we goes up as the same direction. Of course, we stay away from king. Okay, with the same direction. Here, we move here. Okay. Here. Okay, we'll move here. Okay. If he goes there, we go there. If he goes there, okay, now this step is done. We pushed the black king to the edge of the board. Any edge we can choose. We can push the king to this edge, this one or this one or this one, whatever. We can push the king to the edge and keep him there. And now we have to remember a very important rule. We must be away from the black king, like this. Please, for here, we can approach, but it's not important. We can bring our king now, but I want to show you the most important thing, that if it goes to the corner, we must keep our queen away from this square, because this one is a stalemate now. The black king cannot move, and this is stalemate, and we lose our half point. So this is wrong to approach the king if he is in the corner. We must stay away at least 3 squares, 1, 2, 3. So we keep our queen away and we bring our king like this and keep him move and right as he wants. Bring our and why we bring our king? Because we have to do a checkmate with the protection of the king, or the king can make a barrier or attack the squares in front of the king, so prevent the king from running away. And now we can do our checkmate. We can do the checkmate here or here, not here or not here, because this is good square, this is good square, this is good square. Here, not losing, but this is not the right move, and not here because this is not the right move. Like here, this is checkmate because the queen attacked the king and prevent him from running away. And here, the queen attacks the king and prevent him from running away. Also, he can attack here. And the king, our king, white king, prevent the king from running away by attacking these squares. So all the squares around the black king is attacked. Also, the same thing for queen d8. Why not queen f7 or h7? Because if we play queen f7, the king can move to h8. This is not losing, but we can now make the checkmate. Okay, and if we play queen h7, also black can run away if we don't move our queen to this square and make a checkmate in one move. And the king protecting the queen, and the queen attacking all the squares around the king. This is how we do checkmate with king and queen against a long king. So first we have to push the king to one edge. Second, we have to bring our king. We have to bring our king to support the queen. And third, we do the checkmate. So now let's see how to make a checkmate with king and 2 rooks. 2 rooks are alone can do the checkmate without the help of the king. So let's see it. It's very easy. This is the new position. I intend to put the king very close to our king to make it a little bit harder, but the way of making checkmate with two rooks is very simple and very easy. Just you have to know how to put your your rooks and start to do the checkmate and the routine of checkmating. Checkmating. First of all, one of the rooks must cut the way of the black king. So we are pushing back the black king to the edge. We're going here. We're going to the last rank to do the checkmate. So anyway, if we move like this, now we can go with the other rook because this rook is cutting the way. The other rook can attack the black king, so he must go back. Now we have to make attention or do some attention for our rook. We have to go away from the black king and stay in this shape diagonally because one of the rooks must move ahead the other. So now the black king has to go back and attack our rooks. So the first one, this one, is cutting the way of the king and the other must attack now. So we have attack, so he must go back. So now this rook is cutting the way and the second one must attack. Always the back rook must attack. Check. And now the king must go back. So now this one is cutting the way and the second is attacking. Okay, go back. In this position, this rook is cutting the way of the king, but this rook cannot attack because if we put our rook here, the king can attack it, can take it. So we must go far away from him and let him play whatever he wants. Maybe he wants to attack our rook. Okay, we have to pay attention for our rook and go and put the rooks diagonally. Don't forget to put your rooks diagonally to facilitate the movement of the rooks, one ahead of the other. Okay, now goes back. This rook is cutting the way and the second is attacking. So the two rooks now are attacking the king and cutting the way. So he must go back. The final move is checkmate. He cannot move to any square. All the squares are attacked. This is very easy. Let's repeat it. First one, cutting the way for the king. We are going to push the king back to the last rank. The other rook now attack. We attack him. You can attack our rook. We have to pay attention to our rook. We go back and put the rooks diagonally. Okay, the king moves. We attack. He goes back. We attack with the back rook. He goes back. We attack with the backward rook. He goes back. Now we have to pay attention to the square of attack. The square is attack is protected by the king, so we move our rook far away from the king and let him play. Now he is attacking our rook. Also, we go far away from the king and we put the rooks diagonally to facilitate the movement. Black king play. the second rook can attack now because the first one is cutting the way back. So he goes to the last rank and we give the last checkmate. This is so easy. Now let's see how to make checkmate, how to do checkmate with a king and one rook against the king. King and a rook against a king. Now I intentionally moved the king to c1 to make it maybe a little bit hard to do this checkmate. So step by step, the first step is to push, always to push the king to any edge. Like if we can push the king to the last edge here and make the checkmate, or to this edge, or to this edge. Okay, actually now we can do it here also. We notice that the king is already in the last rank. So smartly we move our rook to this rank and cutting the way of the king to move to any other rank of the board. So now it is like that. Now we have to pay attention to our move. If we play the king in front of our rook, we are giving the free way for the black king to run away to other areas. So we have to move our rook in front of our king and still our king protecting the rook. So if the black king attacks our rook, always the king protect the rook. Now he must attack. He can go up and he can move here, and now he plays here. Now smartly we notice that the king has two squares only to move. Now, first of all, as our king is in the third rank opposing the black king, we must move our rook far away to give some space. Now, if the black king moves in front, we call this position opposition of the king because one king opposing the other, just one square separating the kings. So we can now make the black king because all the squares are attacked and protected. The black king cannot move. So if the black king moves to the corner, now we can approach our king. So now he is obliged to move to the opposition. And when the opposition is done, we can give the checkmate. Now this is easy. Let's see another position for the king, maybe in the middle of the board. Okay, now the black king is in the middle of the board. First of all, first step, we have to know what to do. First thing, we have to push the king, the black king, to the edge. Any edge of the board will make the checkmate. Now, let's select this one, the A8 to H8 rank. So we have to cut the way the king by controlling this rank by our rook. So now the black king cannot cross this red line or this rank. So the black king maybe thinks he can attack. Also, we have to approach our rook to protect it. Opposition. We know about the opposition. Now the black king is opposing our king. Now we can give check to force him to go back because all the squares protected in front and to the side of the king, so he must move to any square back. Of course, he wants to attack our rook. Also, we have to remember always, always when the king attacking our rook, we have to move to the last square far from the king, from the black king. Now maybe he goes back. We approach with our king. Now we are making some trick for the king. If he makes, or if he puts his king in opposition, now we can give a check and force him to go back. So maybe he knows about it, so he goes other way. So now it's our chance to uh, imprison the king in very small square. We can go, and this is the prison for the king. He cannot take our rook, and he cannot pass this squares. So he must move up or to the right side. Uh, Maybe he goes here. This is better. Now he is on the edge, so we can approach with our king. He goes back, and now, as a rule, we must. Now we changed our policy or our strategy. We want to imprison him or to checkmate him on this edge, or maybe let's continue to get him back to this edge. Okay, let's not change our strategy. Okay, if he moves here, with our king opposing him, so he is forced maybe to play like. Now we can back. He cannot go there, here or here or here. He must go here or here, maybe here. So we can go out. Okay, now what to do? Goes back. We approach our king. If he comes here, we approach. Check. Back. We protect with our king, and now he goes to the corner, and now we give checkmate. This is so easy. We have always protect your rook with your king and force the black king to go to the edge. Any edge you want, you can push him back. Uh, this is so easy with the queen and with the rooks. There is other checkmate with two bishops and bishop and knight. This is a little bit harder. So let's see with the two bishops. I think it's a little bit harder, not too hard. No, here. Okay. Now we have two bishops and king against long king. Okay, with the same strategy, the role of the two bishops is to prevent the king from going to any side, undesired side, but diagonally. As we saw, the king and the queen can push the black king vertically up to the last rank. Now the two bishops can push the king diagonally like this to this corner, or like this to this corner with the help of the king. Okay, let's see now how to do it. Okay, first of all, our king. Now maybe we can go there. Okay, now we approach with our king. Now this always we have to notice the lines of attacking bishops. So maybe if we approach like this, now this is very easy. Now we put our bishop here. Now the two bishops work together and prevent the king from going back to this area. So he cannot go back to this area, never to this area. As we see now, he is imprisoned in this triangle. So we have to force him to stay in this triangle and push him back to this corner and make the checkmate. Okay, let's see how. Now maybe he can go there. This is easy. Okay. We come closer with our bishop. The two bishops must work together. So maybe he can go here. Never mind. Closer with our king. Here. We do not cut the control of our bishop by moving our king here. We must keep the controlling diagonal of the white bishop. So we move it. Now what to do? Maybe it's okay. We can. This is not the most right way, but I'm doing it very easy to let you understand how to do this. Now maybe he comes. Now the white king preventing him from coming to this square. So what to do? This is attacked, and this is attacked, and this and this. So now maybe he can go here. Okay. Now I force him to go back. Maybe he goes here. Fine. Now I approach my king. Maybe he goes here. Don't panic. All squares attack. He cannot run away. If he attacks, okay, I can go these squares Okay, as you see, this is the small prison for the king. Now, maybe he can go here. Okay, now I approach my king. Now he is forced to go there. So I am cutting the way for him. Now, as you see, the prison is getting smaller and smaller. Just be careful and pay attention for the stalemate. Okay, now maybe he goes. Now he just have or has 1, 2, 3 squares. If he goes here, okay, fine. Never mind. I approach my if he tries to run away, I give my bishop full control now of these squares also. Just keep controlling the squares around the king. Now he must go back maybe here or here. Never mind. If he goes here, sorry, if he goes closing with my king, so he goes here. Very good. I'll come in this way. So he tries to attack my bishop. The bishop goes back and these squares is protected. This square is protected. Just this and this and this. Okay, maybe he comes here. Never mind. I approach my king. Maybe he goes back. I'm closing with my king. Now, as we notice, all the squares, maybe he goes here. So I approach now the final stage, what to do. He has just this square. Now you have to notice that only two squares available for the black king and pay attention for the stalemate. If you play your bishop here, this is a stalemate. He cannot move to any square. So you must give him one move like this and check on this way. He goes to the corner and checkmate. This is very simple. Just keep pushing the king to any corner diagonally. The two bishops make like a barrier for him, like this. Okay, now as you notice, the two bishops create a barrier so the king cannot cross these two lines and must go back to this square. And as the two bishops prevent him from running away, our king must go back and push him down. And this is the right way to make checkmate with a king and two bishops against a king. Okay, thank you for watching. This is all for this lesson. If you have any comments, any suggestions, any questions, just don't hesitate to write any comment or any question. We can answer it the next session or the next lesson. So thank you and bye.